Hello and welcome to Stamford Bridge, where the FA Cup holders Chelsea have gone out this evening, being beaten 2-0 by Manchester United in the last of the fifth round ties. So it means we're now down to just 8 teams, and to make the draw for the quarterfinals of the Cup, 2 men with plenty of history in this competition in Wayne Bridge and Darren Fletcher. It was here at Stamford Bridge where former England defender Wayne enjoyed his greatest days as a player. Premier League and League Cup success was followed up in 2007 when Chelsea won the first FA Cup final at the new Wembley. As far as Darren is concerned, he made close to 500 career appearances since making his debut for Manchester United 16 years ago. His time at Old Trafford saw him win 5 Premier League titles and the Champions League, but his first major honour was there, the FA Cup, back in 2004. And despite the sort of blonde mullet there, that cup final marked the end of your breakthrough season, really.
It did, yeah. It was a fantastic way to finish the season, to be in the starting lineup for an FA Cup final off the back of beating the Arsenal Invincibles in the semi-final. And, it was a dream come true to win the FA Cup, but especially my first season was a massive achievement.
Of course, that was at the Millennium Stadium back then. Your cup win with Chelsea was the first final to take place at the new Wembley, which was great as far as winning the cup was concerned. It was difficult conditions, though.
It was difficult. The pitch wasn't great. It wasn't a very good game, but it doesn't matter. Come away with a medal, and to against Man United was even more special.
Obviously, we're here at Stamford Bridge, and we've been watching the game. Chelsea were outfought, would you say, and outclassed?
They'd done all right until the goal, and then after that, I didn't think they had anything. Man United defended well; they were hard to break down, and the substitutions, they didn't really help. It was just
there was loads of disquiet here about those substitutions because it was same for same.
Yeah, keep Pedro on and put Willian on, and go for it a little bit. There was none of that. So I thought it was disappointing. What
impressed you most about United's performance?
Everything to a man. A proper away performance in an FA Cup tie. Tactically got it spot on. The manager, the players. They talk about trust. Heard Pogba saying it there. Trusting that the manager trusts us. We trust each other. And they just put in a fantastic performance. Game plan worked to perfection, and the players followed it through fantastically. And as you say, the aggression, the tenacity that they played at, and then they sat back second half and just seen the game out and did a professional job. OK,
let's show you the numbers then. Just the 8 teams and the 8 balls for the quarter-final draw. Wolves will be number 1. Millwall of the Championship are 2. Crystal Palace, who won at Doncaster yesterday, are 3. The Premier League champions, Manchester City, are 4, with United 5. Swansea, who beat Brentford, are 6, and 2 Premier League teams are 7 and 8 in Watford and Brighton. So, Wayne, you're going to draw the home teams. Darren will draw the away teams. You're in charge of the bag with those 8 balls in. If you'd like to tip them into the bowl, and then we will be able to start. Gets easier at this stage with just the 8. So they're all in there. Give them a real swirl around before we start. As I say, you do the home teams and Darren will draw the away teams.
Number 6.
And we start with Swansea City after that comeback win against Brentford yesterday. They will be at home.
Number 4.
And they will welcome the Premier League champions in Manchester City. Swansea City against Manchester City. Another trip to Wales for Manchester City.
Number 7.
And number 7, that is Watford, who are into the quarterfinals after a Friday night win at Loftus Road against QPR.
Number 3.
And going to Vicarage Road are Crystal Palace. Watford will be at home to Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace.
Number 1.
Wolves will be at home. So having won at Bristol City yesterday, they will be at Molineux. 3 opportunities for them.
Number 5.
And going to Molineux are Manchester United. Wolves will be at home to Manchester United. It leaves 2.
Number 2.
and Millwall will be at home. So it's going to be a trip to the Den for
number 8.
Chris Hughton's Brighton. So the final one, Millwall will be at home to Brighton. Thank you very much to Wayne and to Darren. Those ties will be played on the weekend of the 15th to the 17th of March.
Thanks very much, Mark, Wayne and Darren. That is the draw for the Emirates FA Cup quarter-finals. Swansea against Manchester City, Watford Crystal Palace, Wolves against the winners here this evening, Manchester United, and Millwall against Brighton. And